Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Men on Bourbon. My name is Cameron, and on my right, I have my co-host, Mr. Lee.
Hey, what's going on, party people?
Hey man, so check it out. This week, we're gonna bring to you some inexpensive bourbons, because I know that everyone, when you think of bourbon, you think of high-priced liquors. And me and my man's listen here, we already know that when it comes to bourbon, you really ain't got to jump out of a tree
No, not at all.
to get some very well-tasting bourbons. Help me out, Lee. Just let them know.
I mean, you can start as low as $8, and I think you might peak at like 20, maybe 25 at the most.
On the bourbon side? On the peak?
On a peak for some economical
Oh, on the yes. Yes.
tasting bourbons.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, light in your pocket, full of flavor.
Full of flavor. Tonight, what we're going to be bringing to you all, we're going to be featuring Evan Williams, because Evan Williams is one of the most economical bourbons that you can go into a liquor store that's readily available, that you can find. And as my man Lee just said, I mean, they start anywhere from $8 on up to, what'd you say, 20?
I'd say at least 25.
25. Well, the one that we have today, the most expensive on the table, on the panel today, would be $31. But he's right, $25. I mean, which still, it's not going to hurt your pocket at all.
Can't be mad.
Now, when we start with Evan Williams, I mean, Evan Williams was originally known, he comes from the Phil Hollenbach, which, are you familiar with Phil Hollenbach? I mean, we've been drinking bourbon for a while.
Yeah, but it sounds like a bad Phil Collins song. Excuse me, Phil Collins. I don't know.
I'm just like, yeah, the Phil
He might be the
Hollenbach.
cousin to him. Who knows?
Right. But the Phil Hollenbach Company, which we've never heard of, but that's where they originate from. But they're right in the middle of Whiskey Row, which is on the Bourbon Trail. And he purchased this building, so apparently it's monumental. So we might have to take a trip there, but
Absolutely.
it's right in the middle of Louisville, Kentucky. And also, not only is one of the first manufacturing buildings to make bourbon, but it's also the first building to make Anheuser-Busch, which is one of the first beers.
I always thought it was just in St. Louis.
Anheuser-Busch.
So those horses went from Kentucky all the way to Missouri? And the award for dummy goes to...
All right, but check it out. Not only was Evan Williams a distiller, but he was also a stonemason, an entrepreneur, and also a wharf master, which I had looked that up. I even had to ask you because I didn't know what a wharf master was. But find out a wharf master is a person who runs the docks on the pier. Basically, he controls who the boats coming in, the boats going out, what they bringing in, what they sending out. That was Evan Williams. So he was a very, very busy man in the 1800s, which made him very reputable, very important, all that in Louisville, Kentucky at that time.
So in essence, would he be like a early longshoreman in a sense?
Correct.
I guess you'd call him a short shoreman because it's off the river, but...
Ohio River at that.
Right.
Ohio River at that.
Yeah.
Ohio. Yeah, so let's get off into the bourbon. Or do we have anything else to... Well, again, let's say that. So by him controlling the docks, that gave him, as you can say, the higher ups. I mean, gave him the one up on everybody else.
Or the pick of the litter, more or less. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Because he's seen what was coming in, what was going out. So if he was controlling what was going out, guess whose liquor was going out first?
Yeah. Mine.
Makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
So, again, as we said, we're going to focus on the most inexpensive bourbons that you can buy for your money, but taste great. So we're going to start off with Evan Williams, 1783, which this is not the lowest of the bunch, but I didn't have, which I like to call it River Rat. I didn't have none of that. So we're gonna start with this 1783,
All right.
which is a very, very delicious bourbon. And I believe the price point on this bourbon, I think, is $14 for a fifth. Cannot knock it, even though it is a screw top. Don't let the screw top fool you.
You know, that's kind of a common trend with a lot of his, though. I mean, he's got one here. The next one you'll see up, I mean, it looks like there's one on there as well. So
True. I mean, but for an inexpensive bourbon and efficient, I mean, they're not gonna give you all the bells and whistles.
Right.
I mean, you know, they gotta cut some corners somewhere. So screw top, I ain't gonna be mad, especially for the taste that you're gonna get with this bourbon.
you know, I'm gonna be honest and just not to elaborate, but at the end of the day, when I think about corks versus the screw top itself, it's about the content of the bottle, what's inside the bottle. I mean, how you top it is one thing, but yeah, it might, you know, from cosmetics, it might look, you know, okay, a cork is better, but the screw top itself, still holding the same bourbon or a great tasting bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
Who cares once it's off, right? As long as it gets to your glass and to yourself.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, I've noticed some bottles, they may have come with the wax top, like Johnny Drum.
Okay.
When I got my first bottles of Johnny Drum, all of them had wax tops. The newer bottles that I'm getting of Johnny Drum, they're twist top.
Mm.
Same juice inside,
Right.
but it's a twist top.
Right.
So you cutting corners, giving you the same juice. But I gotta, you know, instead of giving you that cork with a wax, because that, trust and believe, this wax is not, it's not cheap to put this wax on there. It's not cheap. So if I can go on and put you a twist top, why not do that? So, what you getting on the nose?
Go to work.
Very, very, very oaky.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna say wood in there.
And you getting up, which is on every bourbon, you're gonna get that caramel smell.
Yeah. Small nose burn, not too bad.
Right. You're getting a little medicinal, but not medicine-y. But it's just, like you said, a little burn on the nose, but you really shouldn't get a burn on the nose. That's not a good thing.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be getting a burn on your nose when you nosing bourbon. Go in for a sip and see what we get.
Okay.
All right. Now, I'm getting pear, apples.
Definitely some apples in there.
It's not bad on the finish at all. It goes down real, real smooth.
Definitely.
Real, real smooth.
But you still get that wood finish at the end.
Correct. Very oaky.
Oh, yeah.
Very oaky. Very oaky. You know I'm a very, very big critic. I have nothing bad to say about this bourbon. First sip, like I say, it's good. I mean, you're getting everything that you would want in a bourbon. It's not very bold like I would like my bourbon. But for this to be, again, like I said, a very inexpensive bourbon, you can't go wrong with this at all. For 15 bucks, stop it.
And I think it's what? It's, was this one 86 proof or, if I'm not mistaken?
The Evan Williams, this would be 80 proof.
80, so yeah.
80 proof.
Yeah. So it can
80.
be one of those, like with any low proof bourbons, it can be definitely one of those that can be medicinal.
Mm-hmm.
You need that, hey, it's cold winter night like it is here, and you need that refresher, or as we say, a hot toddy or whatever. It can be one of those that you would throw in there. I mean, get yourself back together. Primarily because, hey, the higher end ones, yeah, the flavors can get distorted with the medicine, but this one seems like it would fall right in line.
This is a great inexpensive bourbon.
Absolutely.
This is great. Now, Phil always likes to incorporate mixed drinks or whatever. This is where I would like I said, our man Bill to come in And I would like for him to like make us some Manhattans or,
Old fashions.
old fashions. You know, something to find out what we could do to, just bring out a better profile a little bit.
It looks like, I mean, when you said medicinal, and I think about it now on the second go around, it seems as if it got just a tad bit more heat this time. The first sip, it wasn't fiery.
Mm-hmm.
This one seemed like it kind of intensified just a little bit.
Okay.
It's kind of like when you start a fire and you got it, and you get
And
a
when
couple
the air
flavors.
hit it.
Air hits a little bit. You move around a couple different places. Things start to rise. But again, on the finish, as you stated before, it's not it's definitely not one of those that's going to rip your chest apart or
Correct.
make things bad for you. So.
Now, on a scale of 1 to 5, what would you rate this Evan Williams 1783?
And we said 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest, right?
Yes, sir.
If I had to give it to you, in the best and most honest way, I'd say that's a good 4 to me.
For it to be a $15 bottle of bourbon
Yeah.
on the inexpensive side, I would say a 3.5. Strong 3.5.
Strong,
Strong 3.5. I would say 3, border and a teeter totter 3.5. Because there's, as well as we know, there's a bunch of other bourbons out here around that same price.
That do a lot.
Correct. That got more body, more oomph than that has.
Nose and everything. I mean, and we'll see that later on, but definitely, yeah.
I mean, that's a good bourbon.
Yeah.
Like I said, normally I tear a bourbon down, but I have nothing bad to say about that.
And just like I've always stated before, that's kind of one of those where if you just, to me, the longer it ages,
Especially now they've got some air to it.
Got some air to it, you put it in the canister, or you just leave it, up on your shelf or whatnot. I think it'll get better.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously.
I concur. I concur. Cheers.
Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me get a bottle of water so we can rinse our glasses out and quench our palates.
Refresh.
And we'll be right back, and we're going to get to this Evan Williams 100 proof.
All right.
100 proof.
Cool.
This will be our next sip. And we'll be right back at you. And we're back.
Yeah, man.
All right. Thank you for that little delay. Well, having patience for our little delay. But moving on, we've tried the 1783. Now we're going to be moving on to, what do we have? The Evan Williams Bottle and Bond.
We'll take it to the BIB.
The BIB. Now, for those who don't know about Bottle and Bond, what's up, brother? Bottle and Bond. That means that this particular liquor has to be stored in one warehouse, overseen by one master distiller for a minimum of 4 years. It has to be poured into the bottle, correct?
Correct.
At 100 proof. No more, no less.
100.
It can be distilled. It might go into a batch at 140, 150, whatever. But it has to go into the bottle at 100 proof, period. That's it. It can't be no more, no less.
No 99.8s.
At all.
No 100.1s. 100.
Again, it has to be overseen by one master distiller, coming out of one warehouse, 100 proof, and matured for a minimum of 4 years. So that's really all I can tell you about Bottle and Bond. You already know the story about Evan Williams. So let's see what this 100 proof tastes like.
Good agitation here.
It's real dark. I like the color on it. The color is nice.
So maybe that could be the difference. I mean, if we just showed them, I mean, I don't know if this is out of line or not, but I was gonna say, if you're looking at just going backwards, just in a second, if you're looking at kind of the aging, kind of aging per se, that you can, like I've told folks in the past, when you can see through, that can kind of tell you. And he was just saying how darker it made seem. That's an aging characteristic already.
Correct. The aging, as we've all stated, always comes from the char and the barrel. That's what's going to give you your color. So that lets you know how deeply charred they did their barrels. Some do a light char, some do a medium char, some do a heavy char. This, by it being a very an efficient bourbon, who knows? That's another, homework lesson we might have to do as far as about the charring of their barrels.
Right.
But looking at how dark this liquor is, it would be safe to say that they char their barrels very, very heavy. For this to be an inexpensive liquor, this is a very, very dark bourbon. What you getting on the nose, Mr. Lee?
Let's go to work. Much different.
I get a lot of maple.
I'm getting floral.
I can get the floral. It's very fruity.
Yeah, definitely.
To be 100 proof. I mean, I'm definitely not getting that medicine that we got out of this.
No. And I don't even get the woodiness, the oak more or less. I don't even get that this time.
Yeah, this is
It's different.
very, very different.
Mm-hmm.
Very different. And again, this bottle is under $20. We still haven't broke the $20 mark yet. Let's go in for a sip, see what we got.
Absolutely.
Wow. Now you're getting out. Now I'm getting that wood. I'm getting the wood now. You're getting that aging.
Yeah.
You're getting that aging as far as
You can definitely tell that
the barrel notes. Is one, and I don't mean that in a bad way.
Right.
But I'm tasting the barrel notes.
But I get a lot of, like, when I say you get the caramel, but you get, it's like a candy caramel in this one.
Correct.
It's a little bit different from the previous, and I it's candy caramel, but it's like you get a little
Like a
bit
caramel
of-
corn, but not popcorny, but
on the
just that.
Yeah, just that first sip. But here's a trick of mine that I always do when I do an actual nosing, and I do the nosing. Of course, they say just have your nose and your mouth open or not, but I can tell how good or complex an actual bourbon is going to become because if I do it through a nose and I try to do a retrohale, when at the end of my breath, I'll start to taste like a little candy bar or something, or some other type of note. It'll come through the retrohaling back onto the glass. So it's a way to do it, but I mean, it's just me. You might be different, but that's how I'm able to fully ingest exactly what's in that pour. If not, if I just do it, you do it with your nose closed, then it's, you miss it.
I absolutely love this. Absolutely love this. Apologize, ladies and gentlemen, but this is a great tasting liquor. For, if I'm not mistaken, I think this bottle is $18. Ladies and gentlemen, listen here. I mean, you'll spend $18 on a beer and a drink
Or just
when you go out.
Yeah.
You're getting a whole bottle for $18 right here. And it's not going to taste like this. This is, I ain't going to use the word phenomenal, but this is something right here. Let me say it like this. You could put this in a decanter at your house and give this to one of your friends, and they'd think you didn't spend a lot of money on your bourbon because they would not know the difference. And that's real talk. I swear, they'll sit there and be like, oh my God, what is this? What did you get me? And they done got some whole bullshit. So, but anyway, and not that it's bullshit. I don't mean it like that, but it's you ain't spent a lot of money. You know, you'll be the talk of the town. I really like this league. I like this a lot.
It's one of my, if I may, impart, is that it's one of my, I call it a sleeper bourbon. When we talk economically, it's a sleeper bourbon. Like if you pull it up, somebody looks at it and they're like, oh, yeah.
Right. They'll see this and be like, oh, no.
That's got a twist top. I don't like it. It doesn't have a cork. It's not original. Then you put it to them and they're like, oh. Like, oh my God. It's really good. It's smooth. And then they start, talking the prices again. And then you're like, yeah, how much do you think it is? I love to do that. I say, hey, how much do you think that is? And they're like, oh, it's got to be like 45 or 50.
Right. Look at the rock in their top.
Come on down. Let me walk you down. Walk you down. Walk you down. Walk you down. Yep, you're on the money. Really? So then when you have the fifth, and then you can get a half gallon. I think the half gallon's like
30.
20,
Probably 30.
Again,
$25, $30.
Under $35.
But half a gallon.
Come on.
Drink half a year for $30.
It's not
Get
even,
your mind right.
It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. I mean, a half gallon can last you 6 months. And if you're with the wrong people, it can last you a
might
day.
last you half a day.
But definitely a great bargain, economic, not too hard in your pocket bourbon. That's going to give you flavor, more flavor than the 1783.
All day.
Because Bottled Bond has a different standard. And that's the key that's about Bottled Bond is it has to meet the standard. If it doesn't meet that standard, it's not considered Bottled Bond. You can't stand behind it. It's just like your dollar, just like whatever other products that are out there, they don't stand behind it unless it meets the requirements. And that's it.
Thanks to our man, E.H. Taylor, which is the gentleman who created the Bottled and Bond Act. You'll find out more about him. Just keep watching. This is great. This is great. I'm loving it.
Phenomenal.
Now, scale of 1 to 5. Evan Williams, Bottled and Bond, 100 proof. What would you rate this bourbon?
That's a good 4 or 5
1 to
for me. That's a good 4.5. And I'm not even being partial or like, how Shaq, when they do the dunk contest, like, what do you rate this? No, 4.5. 4.5 out of a scale of 5.
Well, that's almost a 5, Leezy.
I know, but it's just...
You jumping out. Look, I'm going to just say this. You saying 4.5? It's a Bottled and Bond. Is this a Bottled and Bond?
Yeah.
You saying 4.5?
I'm giving it 4.5, man.
Okay.
For Evan, because as we'll see, and I'm not even telegraphing, but I just...
I'm going to give this a 3.5.
Oh!
This is a very, very, very delicious bourbon on an economical price. You won't be perturbed buying this bottle of bourbon.
But 3.5? The last one you gave was 3.5.
And that was 1738.
1783.
I mean, so I said 1738. Excuse me. I got a little Fetty Wap on my mind. My fault, brother. My fault. But 1783.
Yeah.
They I'm straddling the fence. I'm sorry. I mean, they
80 to 100, I just... I don't know.
I'm just keeping it all the way 100, fam. I mean,
we'll keep it 100 then. Keep it Bottled and Bond. How about that?
I mean, I probably would. Because I would get this before I would get this. If I'm going to the store, I'm going to grab
to me...
I'm going to grab this before I grab that. But they're both about the same. They're in the same realm. Same realm.
They're at 4.5.
I said 4.5.
Well, let me see.
You want to see something?
Welcome to the party, Fillmore. How you doing?
How y'all doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm.
All right, we just, and go on and get a taste, and please.
Start Start there.
No, just get you a dab, and then you get you a drink. But just get you a dab, and let us know
This
what
is
you
a dab,
think.
everybody.
Get you a
Hey.
dab. You know,
There we
and
go.
let us know what you think.
Well, I heard that 4.5 come out.
Right.
It's high. But maybe not. This is, which one is this? This is the small bag?
17. No,
17.
well,
That's
this is the one he gave us 4.5.
Okay.
I gave that one a 3.5.
Smells great though.
Evan Williams is, for the price, it's a banger.
How do you?
Now listen here. We don't want you straddling the fence on the film, because you got first and foremost, you got the wrong bottle.
But no,
That's the one you told me to pour.
I did.
But
I
it's
did that.
only right that we start him where we started, and then move him
No,
to where we think.
he just said he heard that 4.5. So
That's why I stepped
he got intrigued.
Well, show him at least. To me, I like anything
What's
else.
the price point on
Show
that?
progression.
The price point in that bottle is $15.
That bottle right there is $15.
This bottle is $15.
So yeah, for $15, I give it a solid 4.
Mm.
I give it a good 4.
Okay.
Just because I mean,
The mystery
you could literally charge $60 for that bottle and it wouldn't be a bad buy, cause it's good. So being that you're getting it for 15, I'd say 4.
So you give that a 4. So if you're giving that a 4, I can only imagine. I can only imagine
What he gonna get at?
what he gets out of this.
Word. I ain't switching my tail. It's a 3.5.
Here's what makes to me the difference, and you'll see it, and it's something that we didn't cover, but it's charcoal filter. So if you take a look, charcoal filter, same sour mash, but it's charcoal filter.
Is this one charcoal filter?
That one's just a sour mash by itself. It's your small batch, meaning again we already know what small batch.
They
entails.
moshed it up.
Correct.
They
took a
just,
couple
it's
of
basically,
different
it's like
ones.
an infinity barrel. They just done took a little bit of this barrel, a little bit of that barrel, a little bit of this barrel, a little bit of that barrel, and put it all in one and made a mash.
Correct.
You know,
But this chocolate filter, the way they did it,
I get it.
it mellows it out. It gives it more floral. It gives it the different notes that you pull in. I mean, it's to me. I'm still standing. I stand behind 4.5.
But I get, you know what? Now, again, we are on efficiency bourbons this evening.
Correct.
Okay, so at a 4.5 for under $20 or less than $30, he might not be wrong. He might not be wrong. I'm a little hard. But again, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at this old tub. And I know this old tub, family, my bourbon family.
That's a beautiful one.
We're about to take a break, and we will be right back. So hold on to your bootstraps, and we'll return.
And someone couldn't count.
And we're back. Hey, y'all. I appreciate y'all hanging out with us on Men on Bourbon tonight, man. This is it. And I hope y'all learned something this evening and enjoying yourselves in the process. But moving on, so now we're on to our third installment, which would be Evan Williams Single Barrel. Now, this right here on the Evan Williams, I guess it would not flagship. What's the word I'm looking for?
Umbrella?
The Evan Williams umbrella.
Yeah.
This will be their top dog. Now, this one right here is, again, as I said, is a single barrel vintage. Now, what a single barrel consists of is very simple. They didn't mash up their barrels.
Right.
They used one barrel, filtered it one time, and put it into one bottle. Very simple process. So we're gonna see what this comes out like. Not like the others. Like I said, when you see a sour mash or a
Small batch?
small batch, thank you, Lee, that comprises of many barrels. When you see a single barrel, you know you're getting pure product. Came out of one. I would like that more than anything. You know, that's maybe why my you know, never mind, I'll leave that to myself. But
Actually, that's a little.
I like it
book that
strong.
comes with it. And it tells you it's like smooth tasting and high rated.
Highly rated. Yes, I mean, this one right here now, of all the bottles that we've tasted this evening, this single
Look at
barrel.
that. I don't know if you can.
What does that
Right
say,
there,
brother?
It tells you. I'll read it out for the crowd here.
That's fine.
It said, "There's bourbon, single barrel bourbon, and Evan Williams, single barrel vintage bourbon." So you got to read it in that voice. You know, kind of how it just comes to you. We're not
Use your Orson Welles voice.
It's a whole story. I mean, I'm not lying, ladies and gentlemen. Should I read it for him? Just to make it quick?
Go ahead,
I mean, why
go
not?
ahead,
It
go
says
ahead.
typically bourbon is a blend of many barrels. Bourbon bottled from a single barrel is categorized as a single barrel bourbon. Evan Williams single barrel vintage bourbon, however, is much more. It's the only single barrel bourbon bottled with a vintage date to provide proof of age and to discover year-to-year distinctions. That's a clear word here. Found in fine wines. What
Wow.
a difference a date makes. Whiskey of the year, year after year. Evan Williams Single Barrel Bourbon continues to receive awards and accolades year after year in recognition for its superior qualities. The following are but a few. Whiskey of the Year, Domestic Whiskey of the Year, Spirit of the Year, Spirit of the Year, American Whiskey category, Top Spirits of the Year, Best American Whiskey.
And the accolades go on and on. So for this to be a $31 bourbon, now we all out here chasing Buffalo Trace, Blanton's, E.H. Taylor, Red Spot, Blue Spot. This right here is readily available in any liquor store that you go into. But you look at it like it ain't nothing. You might want to second guess yourself and your opinion. What you getting on the nose, Mr. Lee?
Oh my God. Good maple. Definitely good
Maple.
I'm getting some
I mean, when I say this, and excuse the pun, but this smells like Bob Evans when you walk into it. Am I lying?
Yeah.
Am I lying? When you walk into Bob Evans and you smell, you know that smell you get when you walk into Bob Evans.
Down on the farm.
Right. You know, I swear to God, this smell like Bob
That's an
Evans.
Ohio thing.
This smell like Bob Evans.
Wow.
I'm getting banana nut bread and
Shit.
apple pies and all, you know, just all types of.
Apple streusels.
Right. Just shit. No. This is good, yo. On the nose, this is awesome. You went in for a set? This nigga cheating.
I mean, you
Wow, where
Where to go?
you get right, you just get a little pinch on the finish. But other than that, I mean, on the mouth, it's like you just said, very floral.
Yeah.
You tasting all the notes.
Oh, I'm getting a whole mango right there, man. I don't even know where that one came from.
But it goes down just
Wow.
unbelievably smooth.
Absolutely.
I am at all. I mean, this is,
No burn. Or no.
I mean, wow. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever run short of money and you really want to get a great bourbon or you're trying to impress someone at your house, this right here, this Evan Williams Single Barrel, is the only way to go. Yeah, I don't believe that you're going to find another bourbon for this price, $30. Now, there's a bunch of $20 bourbons that's better, but for $30, this is the way to go. Single barrel. You cannot go wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Lee,
Yes, sir.
give me your opinion as far as 1 through 5. What would you rate this right here? Now, this bottle right here came out in 2012.
I drove 5. That's all I'm going to say. It tells you. So that means it's 8 years at least. We're in 21 now. So December, is that on the back of it, I think? It tells you the date? Because that's what it says in the book.
Mm-hmm.
12, is that 12/20?
12. It came out in 12/12.
12/12, 12/20, so 8 years. 8. You can tell the difference. Whereas when we started here, we were talking 1783, it's a small batch. It's a conglomerate of a barrel here, a barrel there, a barrel there, to make the actual mash. This one in particular that we're talking about tonight, the Evan Williams, it's that particular barrel from 2012, aged, and you do the math, we're in 21 now. That one on the bottle, it tells you on the back, it says 12/20. It gives you where it came out of. Can't go wrong.
Wow, I'm thinking about it.
Sure.
This Evan Williams also comes in a wax bottle top with the cork. Now, what I want you all to notice is that it's black wax. And if you notice the circumference on the wax, please note this, because this is very, very important. See this wax on this bottle? The reason that Evan Williams or any other distillery can't use wax like this is because Maker's Mark has a copyright on this drip. Believe it or not, I didn't know that until today when I did my homework. But no liquor distillery can use this type of wax form. You cannot drip your wax over a bottle at all unless you're a Maker's Mark. And if you do, you're going to have a bad day.
Can I give them a novice fun fact about me?
Yes.
I used to actually look at that bottle, and you know how like back in the day, or at least like when it comes down to like Halloween or whatnot, they would have different candies or whatever, and be wrapped around and have different, wax or whatever, edible wax or whatever. I used to always think that this bottle had that particular capability.
Did you try and eat some Maker's Mark?
No, I didn't eat it, but I drank it. Drank plenty of it. So, hey. Shameless plug, shameless fact. That's what I thought up until then, because I was wondering why people always say, hey, I need the Makers. And like, what? The one with the wax. And I used to think that, that's what they could do, but lo and behold, I didn't know it was that stringent as far as the copyright is.
Oh yeah, they've copywritten that wax. So you cannot duplicate that. If you do, they coming at that ass.
That means assume.
Yes, sir. So, 1 to 5. Evan Williams single barrel. Give it to me.
I'm giving it a 5, not even based off of price point. I'm giving it a 5 based off of the taste profile in this one and the proof are second to none.
The proof on this bottle is 86.
This is an 86.
Is it an 86?
It's an 86.
Okay.
So again, remember in the beginning we talked about how something can be medicinal, and how at the same time, hey, you can have it if you're having a bad day or whatever, blah 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 blah.
Correct.
Best bang for your buck. Not gonna kick you in the pants. 86 proof, enjoyable. You can find it. Once you find it, just have a couple bottles around. Let them age a little bit more than the 8 years, as you see. We're in 21 again, and boom, you've got a party all in your mouth at the same time. Pause.
Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to agree with Mr. Lee. I'm going to give this 5 as well. I'm going to agree with him as well, because for this price point, for this taste, that you're getting out of a $30 bottle of liquor, you're not. It's impeccable.
You can't beat it.
This right here, I mean, they outdid themselves with this.
Yeah.
They really did. So, with that being said, I want to say, hey, cheers to Evan Williams. You did the damn thing with this one, yo. Ladies and gentlemen, so if you had $30 in your little change jar, or some money up under your mattress, in your old shirt, go get you a bottle of this Evan Williams single barrel.
You will not.
And you will not be disappointed at all. Now we're gonna take a little short break and come back and show you a few more bottles that we have that's under $30, and we're gonna wrap this thing up. And we're back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you all hanging there with us for this long. We got 2 more bottles to show you all for less than $30. Now we've been at Evan Williams' camp. Now we're gonna take it to my favorite distillery, which is Buffalo Trace. I hate to feel in here because we missing it, because we got blams. No, let me stop. So we're gonna go on the benchmark.
It's blams, man.
And he said, this is blend. So we're gonna go to the benchmark, which is from the Buffalo Trace Distillery. And this Smith right here comes in at about 12.
$9.99.
I was gonna say $12.
You being nice.
No, I said with tax.
With tax,
About $12. Yeah, about $12 with tax. You know, great tasting bourbon. A lot of people frown at it because who the fuck wants like a $10 bourbon? For one, again, it's Buffalo Trace. So you cannot frown upon it. Buffalo Trace is America's #1 distillery. So we're gonna go on and dive off into this. No, I ain't gonna sit here and make no big deal about it, because I already know about Buffalo Trace. I know what they do.
here's the key thing. Notice how he said Buffalo Trace. He put the emphasis on it. He loves the Buffalo. So, nothing wrong with that, but I said Evan Williams. He was like, hold on. There's a distinction. You can tell the baby. Let's pour on.
I eat meat and I drink Buffalo.
All right. Notice this bottle, man. This really looks like an old or a homage to Jack Daniels. And typically Jack Daniels will have number 7. So people be like, yeah, man. I've had people been in the lounge before. Like, yeah, let me get some of that Jack. I'm like, where do you see Jack?
Ain't lying.
Where do you see Jack? That's Jack Daniels. No, can you see? That's benchmark. And there's an 8 in there. Jack is 7. This is 8. It's a little bit better. Just saying. Okay. So anyway, enough of the lounge stories. Let's get to it.
The smell.
Is it?
Well, the nose.
That's
The nose.
what do you get?
Well, I'm getting a lot of cinnamon. I'm getting. It's heat, which we said we don't want to smell heat, but it smells hot.
It smells delicious.
No, but does it smell hot?
I'm not even getting the same burn that Evan Williams is going.
No. Okay. Well, I'm smelling heat. It's literally like a. What's them little candies we used to eat? Them little Red Hots.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
You get the red.
Maybe that's what I mean.
You know, like a good pack of Now Ladies. Remember Now Ladies back in the day? They was a candy and you smell them and whether it be banana or cherry or whatever. I'm getting a bunch of that. This is sweet for later.
Okay. Well, go ahead first.
For me.
Go on first. Okay. Now, on the sip, a lot of wood. I'm getting that woodsy on the front. I'm getting like a tart type of apple.
Yes, I can agree with that. Definitely agree. But I'm getting like a little, not mango this time. It's peach. Definitely peach.
Okay.
Apple peach, kind of like an apple peach pop mixed together.
What about on your finish?
Finish, it has just a little bit of heat. I do get the oak in the end.
Mm-hmm. I'm really not getting nothing from the finish.
It's to the point.
Right, yeah, it's just, it's bourbon.
Whereas the previous
It's bourbon.
had a little more depth to it. This one is once it goes through in that finish, it's the party is going to be the moving around in your mouth. That's where the party is. So when you take it to the finish, it's
Not to be disrespectful,
Well, no.
because I love Buffalo Trace. But this is one of those bourbons you can do shots of. And you don't do shots of bourbon. You don't do shots of bourbon. But this is right here, motherfucker, if you, excuse me, if you was to go into a bar and say, give me a shot of some bourbon, this would probably be it.
It's
Cause,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, I just, cause,
Go to the face. Spoiling wings.
I mean, it's,
But a few of those,
I'm not gonna do any other bourbon like that.
it's not to say that it's.
I'm just not gonna do that. I'm really not. That's a shooter. Am I right or wrong?
To you,
Okay.
if I shot that 2 or 3 of those,
That's anything. You shoot 2, 3
it
tequilas.
catch up. It catch up. So, if we had to compare it to other things that we've shot, as far as whiskey,
Again, we don't shoot
we
bourbon.
don't shoot bourbon, but if we had to compare it to a whiskey shot, that would be a great. If you wanted to make a good old fashioned or a Manhattan or a let's just say a new tea drink, a bourbon tea drink, that would be a great thing to do with because there's not as much complexity in that.
Well, it's not. Ain't a bunch going on in this bottle. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
But I drink it any day over
There's not a lot going on in this bottle. And I'm not gonna lead you. I mean, like I said, if you just want to just have some on your bar just as a filler, for $8 to $12, you ain't
Screw
doing
top.
that. Yeah, you ain't.
Proof, I think it's a 80 proof. So it's lower than the previous. But again,
You
good
do
start
it.
of the day. If you want to start it off, hey, let's kick this party in again before you get into the party bourbons or the higher end bourbons. On the economic side, start here.
I'm gonna just get that to your lane. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Your lane to come to your house and think he know what he doing. He be like, hey man, I want to drink bourbon. Yeah. Hey buddy. Hey look. Hey buddy. Right, that guy. Yeah. You call that
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? If he sit there and tell you, oh man, this is good shit, you know he lying.
And this is the gospel. Yes.
All right, now let's go on to the good shit. Now we're gonna move on to the good stuff. When we gonna get to the good part? Come on to the good part. Hey, look now. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is out of my man's distillery. What is his name?
Jim B.
Jim B.
James B.
This right here, I swear on everything. Excuse me. This for under $25 is going to be the best bourbon that you will ever buy.
Before we move on, I mean, just make sure we're doing keeping consistency here. What did we rate benchmark? What did we rate?
I would rate. I would rate a benchmark at a 2.
I agree. Not being subservient, I'm just being honest.
Benchmark, I give it 2.
It's a good middle of the road to me. Good middle of the road, can't go wrong. See it, snatch it, go. Here's the other thing. Another one for your economics. We say 8 to 12 for benchmark. 8 to 12 for the lead half gallon. Roughly $18 to $20. So again, another party bourbon. You got it. People.
Word. I mean, if you got people over your house and you don't want them drinking up all your
I
good
want to
shit.
drink it, you drink it, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Set them on the benchmark.
Word.
Set them on the bench. Just kind of like, like a
Your bench play.
That's right. You didn't make the mark. We'll
You didn't make the cut, son.
We're gonna put you here. We're gonna start you here, and let's see how you operate.
Thought you in for a couple of minutes of game, son. But that's all you're gonna do. You didn't do it, son.
Moving on to old TV. So this is unfiltered. This is unfiltered. Meaning that there's no charcoal filter.
No
As you've seen
cold
over there.
filter.
There's nothing that says non-chill. It's just
We just running it straight through.
correct. So, and it just basically shows homage to how
They did whiskey back in the day.
correct, pre-prohibition, how sat the tub, they did age, boom, boom, boom. That's how we do it. So,
Thank you, Mr. Lee.
no problem. I'm gonna rinse a little bit. I know we're doing this on the double time. Excuse my. A good rinsing, I swear.
Look at that. See, just the color alone. See, color speaks volume. I'm gonna go in for a nose or a grip. The caramel. All you get is caramel, vanilla, and wafers. Caramel, vanilla, wafer. Caramel, vanilla, wafer.
Every time. Every time.
Caramel, vanilla, wafer.
Every time.
That's letting you know that this is a bourbon. This is a bourbon. Off the nose alone, without even going in for a taste. This is a bourbon. I don't even know the price. I don't have to know the price.
Let me tell you. So, quick story real quick. Just fast. I'm from Virginia. He's from Ohio. When I go home, I always, try to pick up different bourbons for,
The family.
guys, for the family, right? And I just so happened to see it, and they had it in the ABC store, which is the equivalent to a steak store here.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at it and I said, Old Tub. I said, what's that? He said, oh yeah, this is a new one from Jim Beam. I said, okay, cool. So this is a couple months prior to it actually coming here in Ohio. And I just picked it up. And I was like, Old Tub, I'm not really sold on the name.
Yeah, the name
And
alone.
I was like, I don't want to drink my tub water. What are you talking about?
Old tub.
Yeah, old tub, like old rusty tub. Anyway, lo and behold, yeah, it's an old secret. It's something that you need to have. If you find it, grab it. For the price point, you're going to be back. Now, in Virginia, VA, it's $19.99 on sale. He
I
said,
think it ain't no more than $23. That's what I'm saying. So
Right.
Get you 3 or 4 of them up.
set you
3
aside.
or 4 of them. I'm gonna stop covering my mom, man. This is Cam's channel, nigga. Get you 3 or 4 of them, man.
For free.
For real.
But,
Get you 3 or 4 of them. I'm pumping y'all product. Get you 3 or 4 of them. Y'all, they cuss more than I do, and I'm sitting here trying to censor myself. I'm sick of that shit.
To me, it almost feels like it's a holiday bourbon. No lie. Because of the nose that you get, kind of like when you have the holidays and you got the wreath and you got the, cinnamon, you got the apples, you got the pie and stuff like that.
Mhm.
That's what I get out of it.
Brother Old Tub, since the first time I hit it, which was probably like 5-6 months ago, I've been a fan.
Oh man.
I've been a fan. Now when I look, I can rate this right now. This a whole 5. I ain't even got to taste it. I mean, this a whole 5.
Shot the 5. So you got 2 5s in it.
This a whole 5. You ain't finna find a bourbon that tastes like this, sip like this. None. You're not. For under $30, you ain't finna find a bourbon like this. Mr. Lee, I really appreciate you being my co-host this evening.
Oh man, anytime. You know, flight team. That's how we do it.
Hey, bro, we've been doing this for a long time, man.
I just can't wait for the blind flights.
The blind flights are coming.
Look for it, ladies and gentlemen.
So that right there, like my man said, the blind flights, we just gonna put some bottles up here, just unlabeled, A, B, C, D, E, F.
You just sip it.
And we just gonna sip and let you know which ones is best. But until then, on behalf of my man, Mr. Lee, my name is Cam,
Mr. Jones.
and we are Men on Bourbon. And we've enjoyed you all this evening.
Salute.
Thank you, and we'll catch you next week.